Hello friends, I am Agrawal AS, Assistant Professor in Civil Engineering Department, Sandipani Technical Campus, Latur. The topic is analysis of the pin-jointed indeterminate frame subjected to lack of fit and the temperature changes by Castellon's theorems or a principle of minimum energy. Learning outcomes. A student will be able to understand the concept of lack of fit and temperature changes, and student will be also analyze the indeterminate pin jointed frame subjected to lack of fit and the temperature changes. This is our numeric. The cross-sectional area of the members AB, BC, CD, DA of a pin jointed frame is 1250, and the diagonal member AC and BD is a 625 mm square. And also here a member BC is found to be 2 mm too short before the fitting in the place. And find the member forces of the truss if the modulus of elasticity of the material is a 200 kN per mm square. And also here a member CD is subjected to a temperature rise of 40 degree Celsius. Here take coefficient of thermal expansion, that alpha is equal to 1.2 into 10 raised to power minus 5 per degree Celsius. Then the first step is the calculation of the DSI, that is the total static independency, DSE plus the DSI, external static independency plus internal static independency. So DSE is equal to R minus 3, where R is the number of reactions. So RA, RD and HA are the reactions. So DSE is equal to 3 minus 3. So DSE is equal to the 0. Then next is the degree of static independency internally, that is equal to M minus 2J minus 3 bracket complete. So here M is the number of members, that is 6. J is the number of joint, that is a 4, and DSI is equal to 6 minus in bracket 2 into 4 minus 3, so that is the 1. So total static independency 0 plus 1, that is 1. So from this we can conclude that this frame is a internally indeterminate structure. So take a pause and question arise in the mind, that what are the different steps to analyze the frame. So steps of analysis, first is the remove the redundant. Then next step is calculation of the reactions. Then next step is the key analysis. Then prepare the table. Now this table is very important. Your first column is a member, second column is the area of cross-section area of each member, then length of member, then K is the force developed in the member due to the unit load, and here DL is a length of too short or too long, and the next column is a K into the DL. Then DT is a length changes due to the rise or fall of the temperature. Then next is the K into the DT, and last column is the K square L by the A. So here we got the summation K into DL, summation K into DT, and summation K square L by the A. So here the X is nothing but the force, unknown force in the member, which you have considered as a redundant. So that is equal to minus a summation PKL by AE, the change in length of member due to the external load. Here is a change in length due to the lack of fit, and here change in length due to the temperature changes. So in our case, this PKL by AE is 0 because there is no external load. Then this becomes X is equal to minus a summation K into DL plus K into DT divided by summation K square L by the E. Here DL is the amount of short or long length of the member, and take DL as a positive when member is a short, and take DL as a negative when member is a long. Take DT as a positive when fall of temperature, and take DT as negative when rise of a temperature. And here DT is equal to alpha TL, where alpha is the coefficient of thermal expansion, T is the temperature, and L is the length of member. Once we got the value of force in the redundant member, then forces in the members can be found, S1, S2, S3, likewise so on. Here the P1 is the force developed in the member due to the external load, and K1 is the force developed in the member due to the unit load. Now here removal of the redundant. So the frame is internally indeterminate structure. So remove any one member from the structure. So here we are treating this AC as a redundant member. So remove the AC and release the structure. So remove the member AC and release the structure. Then apply the pair of unit force in place of that redundant member. So apply the pair of unit force at joint A and at joint C in this way. Then next is the K analysis, because here PKL by A, that is the P analysis, is the 0. So K analysis. So first is the calculation of reaction, but generally when the pair of force unit force are acting in the frame, the reactions are 0, but still we are confirming it. So take sigma MA is equal to 0, clockwise positive and anti-clockwise negative. So here if this resolution of this unit force which is acting at A, that becomes the 0 because that passing through the same point. So here is only what? This force 1 sine 53.13 that rotate in the clockwise way and distance is the 0.9. And second one is the 1 cos 53.13 and distance is 1.2 and rotate in the anti-clockwise direction. And here RD into the 0.9 and that rotate in the anti-clockwise direction. So this calculation is the 0. So RD is equal to 0. Then we are applying the here sigma Fy condition, upward positive and downward negative. So here upward force are this force upward and this force is downward. So 1 sine 53.13 is positive and 1 sine 53.13 is negative. That becomes the cancel out 0. Then RD is upward, so it is a positive, and the RA. We know RD is equal to 0 and this force gets cancelled out minus plus, so RA plus 0 and RA is equal to the 0. Then apply sigma Fx condition, towards right plus and towards left minus. So here these are the three forces HA, 1 cos 53.13 and 1 cos 53.13. But these two forces are in opposite directions and same magnitude, that is why it gets the cancel out. So we can say that HA is equal to the 0. The next step is the calculation of the member forces due to this pair of unit force. So first consider the joint A and member force is the KAB. Assume the direction of KAB is towards the joint. So here we are applying the sigma Fy condition, upward positive and downward negative. So at the joint A, this 1 sine 53.13 is upward, so plus, and this KAB is a downward, there is a minus, and summation is the 0. So KAB is equal to 1 sine 53.13. So KAB is equal to the 0.8. Then next, the force is KAB. Assume the direction, that is the towards the joint. Now at joint A, the horizontal forces are 2. That is, this is 1 cos 53.13 and this KAD. But this force is toward the right. So that is why this take as a positive as per our sign conventions. So 1 cos 53.13 is positive and this KAD is toward left, that is why is negative. So KAD is equal to 1 cos 53.13. So KAD is equal to 0.6. Then next consider joint B. So here we are finding the force in the member BD and that denoted as KBD. Assume the force direction is away from the joint. This member is inclined, so resolution of this force is horizontally and the vertically. So here we are applying the sigma Fy condition, upward positive and downward negative. So at the joint B, this KAB is the upward, so that is why it's positive, and this KBD sine 53.13 is a downward, that is why is a negative. So summation is equal to the 0. We know KAB is a 0.8, so put here 0.8 minus KBD sine 53.13 is equal to 0. Then next KD is equal to the 1. So now next force is the KBC and assume the direction of KBC is towards the left. So now this force is horizontal, so apply here the sigma Fx condition, towards right plus and towards left is a minus. So here this horizontal force resolve KBD cos 53.13 is toward the right, that is why it's positive, and this KBD is toward the left, that is why it's negative, and the summation is the 0. We know the KBD is the 1, so put here KBD is equal to BD cos 53.13, and we can say that KBC is equal to 1 cos 53.13. So KBC is equal to 0.6. Then next we consider the joint C here, and member force remain only the KCD. So here unit force is acting at joint C. So resolution of this is vertically downward is 1 sin 53.13. Here we are assuming the direction of KCD is the towards the joint. So apply here the sigma Fy condition, upward positive and downward negative. So KCD is the upward force, that is why it's positive, and 1 sin 53.13 is downward, so as a negative. So summation is equal to the 0. So KCD is equal to 1 sin 53.13 and KCD is equal to 0.8. So this is the direction of the member forces, and this is the magnitude of the member forces. Now next important point is here that dt is equal to alpha TL. Here we have to calculate the dt for the each member separately, if there is a rise of temperature or the fall of the temperature. But here alpha is equal to coefficient of thermal expansion, T is the temperature in degree Celsius, and L is the length of member in the mm. So dt is for the member CD, because in our case only the member CD having the rise of temperature. So dt is equal to, here alpha is 1.2 into 10 raised to power minus 5 given, then rise of temperature is 40 and length is 1200. Now important is here, this is the minus, because we have considered that if the rise of temperature, in that case consider dt as the negative, that is why is a minus. So dt is equal to minus 0.576 mm. So we got the value of the dt. Then next is this table, and this table is very important. So first is the members A, B, C, D, AD, BC, AC and the BD. Next is the cross-sectional area 1250, 1250, 1250, 1250 and 625, 625. Then next column is length of each member. Then again next column is the K, that is the member force due to the unit pair of unit loads at the joint, 0.8, 0.8, 0.6, 0.6, -1 and -1. So here what we are taking compression as positive and tension as a negative. So here the change in our lack of fit, for AB member is 0, CD member is 0, AD member is 0, and for BC is a short by 2 mm, and for that, in that case lack of fit we are taking, if the member length is a short, the DL is a positive, if member length is long, then taken as a negative. So K into DL, so this value is 0, that is why this column is 0, this column is 0, this column is 0. Now here is 0.2 into 6, that is a 1.20, and rest columns are the rest row are the 0. Then next is the dt, that is a change in length due to the temperature rises. So here all the members except CD are the 0. Here in our case a problem given, only the member CD is go for the rise of the temperature, and value is dt, that previously slide we have calculated, minus 0.57. The next column is a K into dt. So here, so except CD all the values are the 0, because here dt of that member is the 0. So here only the K, that is 0.8 into the minus 0.57, that is equal to minus 0.456. Then last column, that is the K square L by AE. Here K is equal to 0.8 square into length of member is 1200 into the divided by the area 1250. So that is equal to 0.6144. In this way they calculated for the each members. And here last, the summation of K into dl, that is 1.2, and so summation K into dt, that is equal to minus 0.456, and here summation K square L by AE is equal to 6.547 divided by the A. Now this is our basic formula. X is equal to minus the summation PKL by AE plus K into DL plus K into the dt. But we know that here PKL by AE is 0 because there is no external load. So this formula is modified as X is equal to minus a summation KDL plus K dt divided by summation K square L by the AE. So X is equal to minus, we know this K summation of KDL is 1.20 and summation of K dt is minus 0.456, and the summation K square L by A is 6.5472 divided by the A. So that is equal to minus 0.744 into this goes to numerator E divided by the 6.5472. Here E is given as 200 kN per mm square. So put the value of 200 in this equation. So this X becomes minus 22.72 kN. Once we got the force in the redundant member, then rest of the forces easily calculated by using this formula S1, S2, S3, S4 like this. Here the P1 is the force developed in the member due to the external load, and K1 is the force developed in that member due to the unit load. So we have prepared here separately table. Here X is equal to minus 22.72. Here the members A, B, C, D, A, D, B, C, A, C and the B, D. Then the forces in the members are the 0, 0 because there is no external loads. Then forces developed due to the unit load, so that is same as the previous table, 0.8, 0.8, 0.6, 0.6, minus 1, but here a compression as positive and tension as the negative. So now this is important here. S is equal to P plus X into the K. Here in our case this P value is the 0 because there is no external loads. So only remains what? X into the K. So X is minus 22.72. So minus 7.22 into K is equal to 0.8. So K is equal to the 0.8. So that is equal to minus 18.17. So in this fashion, we have to calculate for the CD, for the AD, for BC, for AC, and last for the BD. Now here we are taking as a negative as a tension because denoted as a tensile, and here positive as a compressive force. So these are the forces in the member due to the lack of fit and the temperature rise. Thank you.